I am new to the book world and I've never been a really good reader until one day my sister just handed me a book and I kind of just fell in love with reading all of a sudden. It's been a little over a month and I have read about 8 books, which may not seem like a lot, but for someone who's never really read before, it's a big accomplishment for me. So I had the thought of baking my way through all the books I've read so far. And today I wanted to bake lime cookies from the book Book Lovers by Emily Henry. She has quickly become one of my favorite authors. Reading her books are like watching a movie. And again, let me just make it clear that reading for me has not been very easy, but I feel like she writes in such a way where you just feel very creative after you read a book. Hence why I'm making lime cookies and this video. Now, I also love this book because although it's a cute love story, it's also about 2 sisters. My sister is also my best friend, so that may be why I love this book. Anyways, in one of the chapters, they talk about how their mom used to make lime cookies growing up, and it just sounded so good to me. So thanks to my friend ChatGPT, I found a lime cookie recipe. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I actually did not like these cookies. However, my husband did. So I don't even think I had one full cookie. I tried a bite and it just was not for me. But I don't really like sugar cookies, and that's what these tasted like, with like a hint of lime. And I love lime, so I really did think I'd like it, but I didn't. I digress. Let me get back to the book, and here's how I'm going to rate it. We're going to do plot, writing style, characters, romance, setting, atmosphere, and overall rating. As far as plot goes, I was engaged from the very beginning. It didn't drag on, and before I knew it, the book was almost over. It did balance humor, romance, and emotion. I don't like books that are really heavy, and I feel like this was the perfect balance of it still had heaviness, but it was more in depth, if that makes sense. It was like a light heavy, I guess. Okay, I know that doesn't really make sense, but it does in my head, so 1 star for plot. Next category is writing style, and I love authors who write in a way where you understand what's going on, but they also leave room for your imagination to take place, which I guess is why, like I said in the beginning, it does feel like watching a movie whenever I read her books. And just the style of her writing makes the characters and the emotions all feel real. So another star for writing. Speaking of characters, the next category is characters. I did really love the character development in this story. I feel like it's really good character development when you don't even relate to the character. Gosh, I'm saying character a lot. But my point is, I found myself really rooting for them the entire story, because there are books out there where you're not really rooting for the characters, and I feel like this one I was the entire time. And I also enjoyed the chemistry between the two, so overall I'd give another star. And speaking of chemistry, the next category is romance. Was it believable? I guess sort of. Did the chemistry feel natural? Yes. I loved that there was good emotional depth beyond just attraction between the characters. So overall, I'd give another star. The next category would be atmosphere, which I know is kind of a weird category to rate. However, one of the things I look for in a book is if the world and setting are easy to imagine while reading. And it was. I feel like the setting, the atmosphere, all just kind of came alive in my imagination, and it matched the mood of the story. So I'd give this another star. So I guess the overall rating would be 5 stars. Like I said before, I'm new to the book reading world, and reading has not always been easy for me, so the fact that I finish a book and I'm reviewing it kind of says a lot, because if I don't like it and I struggle reading it, I'm just not going to finish it. Anyways, back to the cookies. I'll leave the ingredients and directions for these cookies in the description, but it is basically how you would bake any other cookies. You just mix all the dry ingredients in one bowl and then all the wet ingredients in the other, and you just combine, roll, and bake. And once I finished that, I've learned this nifty little trick from my sister, of course, and that is to freeze your cookie dough. Then you don't have to bake all 24 cookies, and you could just bake one at a time. Now, I did add a little bit of sugar in this bag and then a little bit of lime zest. And then you shake it all up, and there you go. Okay, I am editing a video. And the cookie looks absolutely horrible. I don't want to delete it because I put so much effort. I put so much effort into it. Okay, I'm gonna keep it, but just a fair warning. I am aware of how horrible this cookie looks. For the other books I read this month, I didn't stick to a theme because I'm still pretty new at reading, and right now I'm just kind of picking books that I think will be interesting. Something that has really helped me though to find interesting books is kind of the old reliable of if it says New York Times bestseller, it won't focus. Oh, there it goes. Okay, no it doesn't. If it says New York Times bestseller on top of it, I have found that has actually been really helpful and I end up really liking the book. So the other books I read, I don't have the physical copy with me because I went to the library and then I returned them. However, I will try to leave like a little screenshot in the corner somewhere. But the other Emily Henry books I read, I started with Happy Place because that was highly recommended. I've never read a book twice, and I can see myself reading that book twice. I haven't yet, and I don't know if I will, but I could see it. The other book I read was obviously Book Lovers, which I already gave my review there. The other one I read was Funny Story, and that one actually didn't enjoy the characters. Like, I liked the plot and everything. I didn't feel like I could be friends with anybody in the book. And so that may sound harsh, but I just feel like I wouldn't really vibe with them. So it's kind of hard to like read a story about it. Another book I read was Once Upon a Wardrobe. It was, wow, I say a lot. That's annoying. It was a slower read and it was kind of hard to get into, but if I had known that it was going to be like about the history of C.S. Lewis and kind of how he wrote Narnia, I think I would have, if I was prepared for that, I think I would have enjoyed it a little better. But I was reading it going into thinking that it was going to be like another Narnia story, which I don't know why I didn't do that. I don't know why I didn't read the description beforehand. And then my battery's about to die, so I'm gonna make this quick. But the other book I read was I Owe You One. It was kind of like reading a Hallmark movie, which don't like Hallmark movies anymore because they're all the same. However, reading it was a different experience. So I also recommend that book as well. So that is it for my book review for the month of September and October. I don't really have a theme. I don't even have a plot. But let me know if there are any other books you'd recommend. I'd like to stick to a theme of like cozy because it's like fall and almost winter and Christmas. So that'd be nice. I guess that's it. Bye.